Tony Khan is interested in Bill Goldberg. A New Japan Pro Wrestling star is invading AEW next week, and WWE are said to be calling up multiple NXT superstars after WrestleMania. More on that in this very video. Oh no, it's Jack and Fraser back again with the news. We've done a news video earlier on today. Tony Khan, though, in this one, well, he's implied that he's interested in bringing Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg is all elite.
Not officially yet, not yet, but he's free agent, and Tony Khan does like signing free agents, doesn't he?
Why would you get Bill Goldberg?
Because it's Bill Goldberg.
Obviously, I like Goldberg. I like what he represented back then in the 90s. Yep. He was really cool. You know, I've seen a Bill Goldberg match, a good one, the one against Lesnar at WrestleMania 33. It was electrifying.
That was really good.
Really good.
Really good.
But Goldberg, at the minute, as we saw with the Undertaker match in Saudi Arabia and stuff, he's getting on. He's time catches up with us all.
Which mean he beat the Fiend for the Universal Championship, and he beat Kevin Owens.
That's the problem. Goldberg also forces your hand in terms of booking quite a lot as well.
Just a little bit.
Because he's an indestructible.
He's indestructible and he can't lose, and it's Bill Goldberg and he spears people and then you lose, and that's the gist of it.
One person I would also say is hard to beat, though, is Sting, and Tony's booked him really well.
He has, yeah.
So it could maybe work. Tony Khan was speaking on the Bet 98.5 and said, I have a lot of respect for Bill. I think Bill Goldberg is a great professional athlete, not a great wrestler. And he's a great professional athlete and has had a great career in pro wrestling and is a very nice person. He's a household name in pro wrestling, so it's interesting to hear that he's a free agent. So that's something to follow. He's one of the biggest names in wrestling. Come on, Tony. And certainly will be something else to keep an eye on for us. Bill is an exceptionally exciting name and one of the biggest names in the sport. He's repeating himself a lot here. Yep. It's certainly a big thing for us to pay attention to. I would take notice of that. It's interesting.
I would pay attention to it. I would definitely pay attention to it. There is one man whose opinion I want to hear about this. Do you know who that man could be?
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart. Imagine hearing he makes his debut on AEW and then Bret's on a podcast with Dax. That'd be class.
Yeah. I'm just worried. I'm just scared. I don't want AEW, and it's for all its positives and negatives, AEW has managed to cultivate a different feel to WWE, and that's only a good thing. I don't want it to, I feel like this might be a step in the wrong direction in terms of that. It might make them seem a bit like WWE.
Yes, it would feel a bit strange. They have managed to, as you said, have a different sort of feel, especially when it comes to legends. Like, as you said, they've treated Sting really well. Jake Roberts has done really well just in a sort of managerial role. And they've done quite well in that sense. So I feel like they would replicate that with Bill Goldberg. But the problem is that if Bill Goldberg wants to get back in the ring, you can't really tell him, hey, you're losing and you're going to lose on dark.
You're losing to Orange Cassidy.
You know, that it just doesn't feel, or it's you versus Danhausen and he's going over.
Oh, I would love, I would love to
give us that, please, Tony. But like, if that's the case, I imagine there's, as you said, sort of backed into the corner with booking if it is Goldberg.
I want to see Orange Cassidy do a Goldberg parody entrance with like sprinklers and just rubbish security.
Just the best friends, just standing there.
Also, a New Japan Pro Wrestling star is invading AEW next week. It's none other than Jeff Cobb. Now, Fraser, best of luck with this quote, because I read it earlier and I thought, I don't quite understand a lot of the words here in this order.
Here we go. Jeff Cobb spoke at the New Japan Cup finals, revealing his future plans when he said, when my New Japan Cup ended, I set my sights to my goal before the New Japan Cup started, and that was you, Kenny.
Now that you've said it out loud, I do get it.
You do get it.
It was just when I was reading it on my own.
Silly Billy.
I know, yeah. No, but so before the New Japan Cup, he'd set his sights on this goal.
And that was Kenny Omega. And it was Kenny.
Right.
He said, I've tried countless times for you to accept the challenge from me. I've done everything. I've mocked you, copied you, I mimicked you, and nothing came about it.
Mocked him. That roaster, Jeff Cobb.
Kenny, your hair looks silly.
He's ignoring me.
Then he said, now, Kenny, you have been dodging me and dodging me and dodging me for a month.
That last one says dogging.
You've been dogging me for a month, Kenny. The last and final warning, it's not even a warning. I'm telling you firsthand, I'm coming to St. Louis and I'm going to knock on your door.
St. Louis, sorry.
It's all right, I'm going to find the EVP's dressing room, knock on it, and see if you let me in.
Is that invoking the language of the CM Punk brawlout situation and knocking on the door? Although it wasn't the EVP's door that got knocked on, it was them. They were the ones who knocked
on CM Punk.
On CM Punk's door.
Got bit. You know, so we'll see. I'm excited to see Jeff Cobb. He did actually appear in AEW before. He teamed or as part of the Inner Circle.
He was like a mercenary.
He was a mercenary. And it was a fun little appearance for him, and I think he can come in as some muscle and have a good match with Kenny.
It was cool. I remember being very surprised when Jeff Cobb made that initial appearance, because I remember thinking, oh, this is a way to get him into the company full time. But it wasn't. They literally told the truth. He was just in there, did a job, off he went.
He's for hire. That's it, you know. So it's exciting to see that.
Yes, I'm excited to see Jeff Cobb. He's tremendous in the ring. Not sure about his mocking ways, though. I've not seen too much evidence of that.
He's a jester, that's what you're like.
And just the bit where he went, this is your last and final warning. Actually, it's not even a warning, and then proceeds to give a warning. It is a warning.
And warned him,
warned Kenny ahead of time. No, I'm excited for that match. It should be very, very good indeed. Speaking of New Japan Pro Wrestling, unfortunately, well, we already know that Will Ospreay suffered a shoulder injury in the New Japan Cup in a match against his stablemate, Mark Davis, which has forced him to step away from the cup. Davis took his place, but then also got knocked out. PW Insider Elite are reporting that Ospreay's injury is actually worse than thought, and consequently he won't be in action during WrestleMania week, which is a massive shame, because one of the best things about WrestleMania week or weekend is that you get all these shows with just crazy matchups, and in the past, Ospreay's been a very entertaining part of that.
He's been an absolute highlight every time he gets in the ring. He's arguably one of the best, top 3 wrestlers of the world.
You could definitely make a case.
You could make a case for it. So the fact that he's out injured at such a crucial time for the wrestling world, it's never good to see. Hopefully he can come back stronger from this injury. Obviously Mark Davies has stepped up and taken his place in a lot of things, and that's great to see. Mark Davies is a fantastic talent, but yeah, it's just sad when someone like Ospreay gets injured, or anyone gets injured. He
was set to compete at WrestleCon and at Impact Wrestling's something that's becoming quite a regular feature of WrestleMania weekend, their Multiverse United show, which is kind of their version of, like, it's almost Forbidden Door.
It's Forbidden Door, but before Forbidden Door happened.
It's Forbidden Crossroads, so many directions. But Ospreay was set to take on Speedball Mike Bailey. You know what? I'm not throwing any sort of shade on Ospreay, but I've seen Speedball versus Ospreay. Yeah. We've seen it. I think I've seen it twice. WCPW did it.
Yep.
And also they, I think, had a match last year as well. This is a new matchup, and it's probably a more unique matchup.
Yeah.
Ospreay's replacement is the ace of New Japan. Go Ace! It's Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on Speedball Mike Bailey. No air guitarring.
No air guitarring.
He's not a hero.
Oh, he is a hero.
I hate him so much. Yeah,
why?
Come on, Speedball.
Why do you hate Hiroshi Tanahashi?
Old man. because I lost a predictions contest in Japan when I went over with Sam and Richard Tubman. We miss you, Richard. We do. And then I had to watch Tanahashi play air guitar, knowing that I was going to have to do a horrible forfeit, and I wanted to just get out of the Tokyo Dome, and Tanahashi's there going, "Beedly, beedly, beedly." I'm like, it wasn't even a real guitar.
It's a cool guitar.
It was a worked guitar. And finally, WWE are said to be calling up multiple NXT stars after WrestleMania. It's always an interesting aspect of this time of year, WrestleMania weekend and everything, is who's going to be called up following WrestleMania. Well, this, Fraser, is according to, I believe that's pronounced worked. WRKD. Worked.
Yeah. Worked. So they said 2 NXT talents slated to be the main roster mainstays in the next few months following WrestleMania are Cameron Grimes and Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker.
So they're going to the moon.
To the moon. Have you seen Cameron Grimes recently?
Oh my God, he is in incredible shape.
He is looking real jacked, brother.
You know,
real jacked.
I'm excited to see these 2 guys in the main roster. You know, Braun Breaker especially, it feels like he has been ready for that main roster push for some time. We expected it last year that he would maybe go up to the main roster, but I feel like, as I've said before, he has been overshadowed in NXT by Carmelo Hayes and Grayson Waller.
I feel like, yes, and I feel like you could definitely say the same as well about Cameron Grimes, because it feels like he did all his storylines about a year or 2 ago, and then has had nothing ready to do since then. He's gone away for a bit.
Yep.
I think he's ready for the main roster as well. Could this be a possible clue, though, the Braun Breaker idea here, that he might be getting called up to the result of that NXT title match between him and Carmelo Hayes?
I feel it does give it away ever so slightly, but we say he appeared on Raw last year, the night after WrestleMania, as NXT, or won the NXT championship. So it felt maybe there's going to be a swerve and he goes to the main roster and has a little bit of a run between the 2 at the same time. But it does feel like the right time to put the belt on Carmelo Hayes.
I'm not yet fully convinced that the title change will happen. I think I'm probably going to edge towards it. Yes, I think it will happen. But on the other hand, I think Carmelo Hayes is ready for the main roster as well. More than ready.
Yeah,
the most ready.
Both of them are.
Yeah.
Most of NXT's top stars are right now. Chase U.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, they're great.
They're incredible. Give Andre Chase everything.
Duke Hudson's the boy. He's the one.
He's the boy.
He's the
Dull
boy.
Hudson.
He's not dull Hudson.
He's not dull
Delightful Hudson. Thank you very much for watching this very news video. As I mentioned at the start of the video, there is another one on this channel as well. And stay tuned throughout the week for all of the exciting wrestling news. Have you got anything in the pipeline you want to plug?
There's a new Worst Shows Ever coming this weekend. So check that out on Sunday. Don't know what time it goes live, but it's going to be good. It's a good one.
And I'm streaming tonight on Twitch, twitch.tv/Cultaholic alongside Owen Mawson. Up the faves. We're in the Premier League.
Oh, you're like Ted Lasso.
We'll see you very soon.